comme toi.
Hello and thanks for joining us. We're starting with the story of an icon of French football. With the Women's World Cup just over a month away, a new film here in France tells the story of French football pioneer Marinette Pichon. Directed by Virginie Verrier, it traces the star striker's life and career from abusive childhood to her fight to advance women's sports. Alison Sargent tells us more about Marinette.
Her career began in 1992 when she turned heads as a teenager in the Champagne countryside.
Quelle frappe! 16 ans, c'est ça?
16 ans, ouais.
With the help of her mother and a caring coach, Marinette Pichon escaped the orbit of her abusive and alcoholic father, becoming a dribbling sensation and the symbol of an emerging world of women's football.
Bravo.
Merci.
J'aimerais beaucoup que tu rejoignes l'Olympique, Marinette.
Ok.
30 years later, Pichon's story is going from the field to the big screen in a film adapted from her autobiography by director Virginie Verrier.
I was particularly touched by her abusive childhood, the path of this girl who isn't set up to become a football player, who comes from a place where they don't play sports, who's abused, and then becomes an incredible athlete.
From the mid-90s to the mid-2000s, Marinette Pichon was the big star of French football, scoring 81 goals for the national team. Since retiring as a player, she's continued to draw attention to women's football, as a consultant with her book, and now a film.
It was an opportunity for me to continue to spread important messages, societal messages that allow people to change their ways of thinking and to change the lives of certain young people.
Among Marinette Pichon's many fights, professionalizing women's football in France.
Pour moi, ce qui vient de se passer là, c'est l'échec d'un système. Comment vous voulez qu'on fasse le poids face à des joueuses qui sont pros, alors que nous, on n'est même pas payés?
Lead actress Garance Marillier had never played an athlete, but related to Pichon as both a feminist and an activist.
Je suis aussi bonne que je suis même meilleure que tous les mecs. C'est dégueulasse.
Si ça dépendait que de moi, la Fédé veut pas entendre parler d'équipe mixte au-delà de 16 ans. J'ai tout essayé, tu sais bien.
Ce qui m'a vraiment
What
bouleversée
really moved me about her story and her character is that she's both hyper-emotional and sensitive, but at the same time she never backs down, she never gives up, despite all the obstacles she faces.
Marinette comes out just ahead of the Women's World Cup, a message for the new generation of players hoping to see France win its first women's title this summer.
Next to a photo festival showcasing some of the most striking images of the natural world. Now in its 20th year, the Gacilly Photo Festival aims to raise awareness about the issues that threaten our planet. It's an immersive photographic experience with 20 open-air galleries, and it all takes place in a charming French village in northwestern France. Elodie Radinac and Monty Francis take a look.
Above this running water, immense photographs offer a deep dive into the sea. They reflect the beauty and the fragility of the world's oceans. It's the work of American David Duboulet, who's been an underwater photographer for more than 50 years.
We are in a changing planet. Global climate change is about water, whether it's water running through the town of Gacilly or it's water in a glacier. It's right there in front of us.
The festival features about 20 open-air exhibitions. Its goal is to raise awareness about the impact humans are having on the planet.
Harmony between humanity and the Earth is a question of survival for us, raising public awareness through images, and it's true that photographers are sounding the alarm.
The photographer Sasha Goldberger is sounding the alarm by staging an alien invasion in his photographs, an imagined threat with the real message.
I brought all these cars and these actors from France. Here on this image, in fact, it's one photo and nothing has been changed. Then we added the rays, the smoke, and the UFOs in post-production.
With pop culture references and inspiration from the painter Edward Hopper, Goldberger brings an offbeat perspective to our relationship with the planet.
What interests me in any case in photography is to be able to allow people to question themselves, to make them smile, but also to make them wonder about things. This part talks about, what are we doing with our planet? Will it all end well?
The images here, surrounded by trees, also evoke a reaction.
It's like being in front of paintings. It's absolutely beautiful. It's also disturbing, the messages that are conveyed.
It's a good thing that a festival like this is focusing on human beings at the heart of the environment, because it's humans who end up suffering.
I think we need to view ourselves more as a part of nature rather than it's simply a tool for our existence.
A message that resonates thanks to a public space transformed, inviting the festival's 300,000 yearly visitors to imagine a more responsible world.
Next, for theatre lovers in France, it's become one of the biggest attractions of the year, the Molière Month, named after France's greatest playwright. For the 27th time, the festival is back in Versailles throughout June, with well-known comedians performing alongside new talent. And thanks to volunteers and subsidies, it's on offer to the public at a tiny price. Here's Andy Hillier.
French playwright Molière takes centre stage throughout June at Versailles, but the city also gives pride of place to new talent. For the 27th Molière Month, a play called Poachers is opening the festival, taking some 600 spectators to sub-Saharan Africa.
La peau épaisse, rugueuse. Elle s'appelle Princesse.
Princess is the name of the rhinoceros killed by two poachers, an event that enrages the rhino's owner. It's a story of revenge, written by Éric Bougeron, a familiar face at Molière Month.
This festival has a very high level of professionalism. The techniques used, the shows, even the welcome, it's a high level. The hardest thing isn't about being the biggest. It's dangerous to want to be the biggest. The hardest thing is being at the top of your game.
At least 20 different plays will be shown throughout the festival at the Palace of Versailles alone.
We love this place. We're so lucky to have this here in Versailles.
We're aware of how lucky we are.
We love this place. We're so lucky to have this here in Versailles.
330 shows at 62 locations across Versailles. It's mainly theatre, with classics from the likes of Molière and Edmond Rostand, and contemporary works like this one-man show running since 2009. Also on the programme, dance and music, organised by the city's mayor, who first came up with the idea of the festival. It's also an opportunity for up-and-coming talent to shine.
I think what we're seeing looks a lot like Avignon during its first years. It means that I choose performers who have a lot of potential. Some are well known, others less so. But I think they'll emerge. That's what makes this festival unique, the fact that it finds new talent. I'm really attached to that.
Talent that some theatre lovers will already find elsewhere. In all, 7 plays from Molière Month will be shown this summer at the Festival d'Avignon.
Vietnam's booming food scene has been awarded its first ever Michelin stars, with 4 restaurants selected by the prestigious French Dining Guide. 3 eateries in Hanoi and 1 in Ho Chi Minh City were each awarded 1 star. Tam Vai largely focuses on northern Vietnamese dishes, including ham with periwinkle snails, served with fresh herbs, rice vermicelli noodles and fish sauce. Nguyen Bao An, whose mother owns the restaurant, says it was her dream for customers to feel that they were eating a home-cooked meal.
I thought it was impossible to get. I never thought I would have been standing here holding this award. This award totally belongs to my mother, who is the owner of Tam Vai restaurant, and I'm really proud of her. I think now not many restaurants serve that kind of food that reminds people of familiar, traditional flavours of the past.
We are definitely putting Vietnam as establishing Vietnam as a culinary hotspot, on the world culinary map, as well as contributing to, let's say, put a spotlight on the Vietnamese culinary heritage.
And just before we go, London's Victoria and Albert Museum is celebrating some of the most iconic performers of all time in a new exhibition simply titled Diva. The show will celebrate the personal stories of ambition, power and resilience from some of the greatest performers in history, from Cher to Marilyn Monroe. We'll leave you with that. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Queste